Good that you're watching to the weekly Monday stream that we of course do here on the React channel. I go over topics. Those will then turn into videos that we post on either JorRaptor or the React channel. And yeah, a lot happened last week. Of course, got the big Simon interview. That was really a lot of fun. I think it's gonna be very interesting to see what will happen in the future with that. And I also want to hear from you maybe, because I of course did the interview, got a ton of information. I think it's overall really cool that they let Simon talk for more than an hour. It's pretty crazy. I remember interviewing the post-launch director for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Jose, and Bruno for Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I only had like 20 minutes, and it was like an offline interview. But I'm thinking about like, and I want to hear it from you as well, in the comments maybe, or anywhere else. Like, what I'm now seeing is that, of course, everyone is running with all the information from the interview, and I want to do a roundup video as well later on the channel. But on the other hand, if I do the interview offline, then I can give you the information when I want and share it ASAP with you as well. And now we're also seeing a lot of people take it out of proportion. I saw this guy before, and it's really cringe, but I still wanna watch it a bit, because there are now things being linked that cannot even be linked, and it's kind of like, okay, so it's obviously always a debate, like, should a company talk? On one hand, it's cool that they come out there, speak directly, with the fans, and then we see, there are people working on these games, and I think it like you saw it in the comments under the Simon interview, people liked it, and I think it helps the positive vibe around the game for the people that already liked it. But on the other hand, there are of course also there's way more stuff happening on the internet, and we kind of saw it, of course, with the Assassin's Creed Shadows reveal, and then later on when more and more came out about the game, and everyone was making, or not everyone, but a lot of people were making hate bait videos. And when Ubisoft went kind of in the background, they just dropped blog posts talking about game details. Those like rage bait YouTubers, they could not do anything, and they kind of let the game alone, or left the game alone, and I think it actually worked. So I think I'm really curious if I'm gonna be, basically that's what I'm trying to say. I'm really curious if in the future I can do another interview like that. I hope so, because I think it's a lot of fun. But for example, look at this. This is what I saw. This was what was recommended to me on YouTube. And I know this guy, he's always hating on stuff. That's kind of his whole channel. And also the comments, like, I have a thick skin, so I'm like totally okay with, like, these people are all negative. Their whole mindset is negative, and they're just, they just want to fuel their rage. I don't know, because something in their life is not okay. I don't know why. But they're talking about me as well. I'm totally fine with it. I want to, like, watch this and then talk about it with you, because this is kind of why I think maybe as a company you should sometimes not talk. And that sucks, because it's very cool for us to get the information, but this is like, okay, let's just watch it.
Told you that after Ubisoft came out with this Attack on Titan free DLC, that not just a couple days later they would be copyright claiming the videos posted on it, because they're so embarrassed from it. But they didn't stop there. After they started copyright striking and taking down these videos on social media, they announced they're going to be canceling the DLC Part 2 for Assassin's Creed Shadows, effectively ending content for the game. The same game that they claimed that was a success.
There's just so much, like, wrong with this video already. I'm not sure about the copyright striking videos. If that is really true, that is of course not good. But I also like Pirate Nation is another. That's the tweet they're using here is another. I've like blocked that person. That is really really crappy content on the internet. You should not engage with that. So I'm not sure what is happening here. If the copyright is of course not good, but then as if because the Attack on Titan was not very well received, and I get why, they then went to cancel the DLC and they are ending support, which they are not. They're actually doing some pretty, I think, exciting stuff for 2026. So that again, I'm thinking maybe next time. Look, on one hand, it's not my job to make sure that Ubisoft is in a good light. But I do feel kind of like people are now getting information through the stream I did with Simon and running with it. And it's not factual correct. Like, they only saw the headline, there's no second DLC. And instead of doing some extra research and looking at the actual interview and talking about that, there's still a lot of stuff coming, but it's not gonna be a paid DLC. Again, I think maybe in the future I should do the interview offline and then just bring the info in a video, but we will see. I don't know. I have the live stream on YouTube. Yeah, it's on JorRaptor React. Hey, Servus, good to see you. Saw that video yesterday, really. You mean grifters are running with it? Yeah, that's what I mean, Skata. Good to see everyone joining as always. Thanks for joining these chill out streams. Smash GT doesn't deserve your time. I agree. And I'm already like leaving this, and I'm not gonna post this outside of this stream because I already know what's gonna happen. Then I start a whole war, and they're like, no, actually, this. I also tweeted to Jonathan, of course, who I'm nothing against the guy. He just tweets, like, you know, maybe French YouTuber Jonathan, he has some leaks sometimes about Assassin's Creed, has been covering the franchise for a long time, is obviously an older fan, is not happy with the RPG direction, etc. And he just always tweets negative stuff, like, in general. And I just tweeted, I hope one day you put that negativity, or you put that energy that you now put into the negativity, like, into something positive. That's all I said. And then he made a video talking about JorRaptor. Like, okay, we have to quickly look at this. I really should not spend time on this, I know, but it's just funny. I don't know. What do these people not have anything better to do? That's sometimes my question. So we're here, and this is the final thing I will do, and that's why I want to do these streams. Only people, like, no one else will see this. These streams are not wildly watched, so that's why we can quickly look at this. But look at this. JorRaptor versus Jonathan. I've not watched it. I just can't. I can't. But yeah, he's like, great fallout with JorRaptor. It's like, I just said, one day, he even has it in the thumbnail. One day, I hope you put all this energy into something positive. What the heck? Why? He in Photoshop looked at my logo and put it next to each other like versus. I'm like, dude, I like you. I'm not trying to get. I just hope that you, like, get some happiness in your life. That's what I mean. Quick Dex, thanks for joining. Oh yeah, Kino and Sky says Colin Moriarty destroyed the guy one-on-one in months ago. Yeah, I saw that too. He was like the MPD, or basically Circana, that releases the US sales data. They are wrong. They don't post or they only post information that, I mean, they said that that corporation that makes money on selling realistic data was manipulating the data for positive, like, news for the developers or something. Like, nobody that spends money on the Circana data that wants to see the best-selling games in the US has any value, or does that the data has no value if they, of course, toy with it. Oh, but yeah. I just wanted to share this. I thought it was fun. I did not click on the Jonathan video. I'm sorry. I hope that it is funny though, because that's exactly my point. The fact that he made a video on my tweet and then he continued, and that is exactly my point. All that time he spent on that video could have been put into playing a game he liked, making content on an exciting upcoming game. And also, I don't know. It's just it's always interesting that if you make content on things you actually like, you're a fanboy, you're a shill, etc. I think the problem with this type of content is the creator make it as it's like a personal attack. Yeah. Ipsy saying that shows how successful you are, bro. I guess so. It's just what I also know about all this sort of online stuff and how stupid it is. If I met Jonathan in real life, if I met that other guy that we watched earlier in real life, we would probably be able to get a drink. We would have a great time, talk about games, and then the moment they go online, it's like they have this other persona, but probably in real life, they would not say that stuff or be like, oh, what the heck? They would actually be chill, like always. All the time when I meet creators, it's always nice. So I just don't get it. I listened to the interview on my commute to work. Nice, Doverspeech. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, again, but that is, I think, the best approach maybe for the Simon interview in the future. But like, still post it online. I don't know. I think it's cool that we did it, and I'm happy with it. I'm really, really happy with how it turned out, and I think Simon did a great job, and we had a great talk about it. But yeah, I will. I might rethink this as well. Because, yeah, that's how I did it previously. I posted the interview then after the fact so people could still listen to it. But then I already shared all the new info from that interview as, like, separate videos. I guess, yeah, I don't know. Where did you get the info that there will be no DLC content in Shadows? Yeah, so that was from my interview. Again, I will do a quick roundup it's probably gonna be like a sizable video on the main channel very soon. So for people who like still maybe even watch the interview or did not catch it, I can have like a concise video with all the info. Yo, finally got one live. Nice, Abby. Bit busy with work. Hope everything's okay there. Clicks, likes, views, that's what actually matters to them. I guess so, yeah. Hey, Markamon, good to see you as well. Stay off Twitter, guys. Ipsy, that's actually the every time sometimes I'm just in the mood, I'm like, just typing, or I see like a fanboy saying something, and I'm like, this is not correct, I just tweeted. And every time I send tweet, because then it's like a beehive. They all are like, oh, we got new move, we got something new to talk about, and then I always regret it. So yeah, I think that's why I love watch your videos and stream. It's easy to make negative comments for easy clicks, but you never fall in that trap. Appreciate that, Rumo Tenolo. Good to see you as well. It is very easy to yeah, to make the hate content, and it's also always like creating a narrative, and why I also did really distaste that content. I know how content creation works, and like those people, they like just like me. Like I have a calendar. I want to, for example, cover the new Avatar update that drops at the end of the week. So okay, I have a couple videos that I can make. Let's go. But if you are reliant on negativity and negative news, because that is what drives your views, you're gonna look for it. So also when there's not really negative news, look, I do think not getting a second deal for seal for Shadows is kind of disappointing. On the other hand, we now get free updates that are maybe not on the level, but slightly below the level of the Forgotten Saga. A couple like big updates like that throughout the year that we don't have to pay for, probably. Like, I don't think they're gonna do a paid DLC. I liked Claswell Wadji, but I like the gameplay elements the most. I did not really like the story, and that's where most of the resources and the budget went to. So if they can now just put these, or grab these boss fights, make a cool replayable roguelite mode, that I think that Simon was kind of teasing that as well, a co-op mode, then they focus on what, because I think what really, and also what's happening with the Attack on Titan thing, they are trying to make things with not the right tools. Well, if they would just know, okay, we can do a Attack on Titan thing, but we don't have the cutscene people in play, blah blah blah. We cannot make cool. Let's just make a fun, I don't know, boss fight against the Titan, or like something that we can actually do with the tools that we have that is fun to play, and that is not like a story or a story mission. Because story missions, yeah, we have the robotic animations that people will make fun of, etc., etc. Because that is another thing that I got from talking to Simon. Even though we might be like, I don't care, I play to enjoy the game and I like the combat, and they are really hyper focused on the overall feel, or the overall excitement for the brand. And I really think what happens now with that Attack on Titan quest, and even other things for the Shadows post-launch, I think it's overall interesting that there's a way bigger spotlight on the Shadows post-launch than for the previous RPGs. Really feels like with Odyssey and Valhalla, we were on our own island and we were having a good time, and sometimes people would look over, oh, they're having a good time, okay, keep going, guys. And with Shadows, it's like, oh, they did something again, and yeah, I think that's actually, like, they are looking at it and they might be like, okay, this is actually hurting the overall brand. Because they now got a lot of like eyes on it that would never play the game. So the people that actually enjoy it, and the Isu stuff and the new items that we got, like, okay, awesome. But they are seeing metrics where it's like, whoa, Assassin's Creed negativity, a lot of like negative videos, and the clip, of course, with the cutscene from the Titan was going around, etc., etc. So that, like, they are of course afraid that it will hurt. Like, a Black Flag remake is announced, everyone sends them the memes like, oh, will the Titan be back? Or like, you don't know. A Hexay will be announced and they're like, oh, did they finally fix the robotic cutscenes? I do think that is actually what they are kind of afraid of, and I'm really curious how that will shape the future of these RPG post launches, because at one point they might be like, yeah, we have a decent player base and we're making money on it, but it is hurting potential pre-orders for Hexay, so is it even worth it to do it? The crossover did really suck, though. No, I totally get it. I'm just saying, I totally get that the DLC sucked. Or the crossover sucked. I really think they should not have gone for that cutscene approach when they clearly don't have the tools to make a cool cutscene, or make, like, the gameplay for that mission was not cool. There were a lot of Easter eggs for the people that liked Attack on Titan, But I think why the Dead by Daylight really worked is because it was gameplay first. You went to this area, you were doing something cool, and then they had a not so crazy boss fight at the end, which was basically Yasuke's model in the Helix outfit doing some moves. Like, that worked. But for Attack on Titan, they tried a lot of things and made assets and animations that were not really in the game, and that's when you get something crazy like that. And they will learn, and the hard way, sadly, but yeah, and that's, I think, good. My point is that, like, at one point they might be like, is it even worth it to make content for Shadows or an RPG game if we only get, because this is the best content we can make with the amount of people that are working on it, is it even worth it if it could hurt the franchise's overall appeal or overall satisfaction, and it might hurt the future. That's what I mean. I feel like because Ubisoft outsized noise and hate, Ubisoft has been very reactive when it comes to Shadows, and that's a damn shame. Despite it being polarized, I love how they are firm roadmap for Valhalla, which I really enjoyed. Now it's like, let's release something, let's see how it's received, etc. I mean, I think the whole thing with Simon was pretty clear that for Shadows, I mean, he did not specifically say it, but read between the lines, and they basically said that they did not have a really solid post-launch plan. And that I was always, wow, we got a new RPG that will have 4 years of development, and it turned out to be even more with the delay. Well, Odyssey was made in 3 years. Origins was, I think, also 4 years, but they completely redid, of course, they completely remade what an Assassin's Creed game could be. Valhalla was also 3 years, so I was like, they got an extra year. Post-launch is always important. Let's go. Turns out they spent more than half of that time on the new engine. That will be nice for the future games. But Shadows, it feels like they maybe made the game in 2 years or something. And then they were like, damn, we have a post-launch as well. So I would not be surprised if Shadows was not delayed and came out in November last year. We would have been still getting a Waji or when was it? September. So I don't think the post-launch... I always thought, okay, they have like 4 extra months and they already had plans for the post-launch. No, the post-launch was probably way, like, it felt like kind of an afterthought, or they did not have really a plan in place, which is kind of crazy. And yeah, I think that is hurting them as well, and I hope that they do better for that. The new Mirage DLC is so good. For sure. Yeah, it's interesting. They, of course, had a lot of great feedback on that. And, yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. But yeah, nobody is, like, those grifters, like, nobody's making videos on the Mirage DLC. I also think that in a perfect world, they would have been like, let's do Shadows first, and then Mirage. Because now, Mirage is already forgotten in the grand scheme of things. Like, we still talk about it, we liked it, but... everyone is talking about the Shadow stuff. Maybe, on the other hand, Mirage had its own week without the Attack on Titan crossover hanging over it, so that might have been beneficial overall as well. But yeah. How much did the Mirage DLC cost? You mean, like, it was, of course, free. But in budget, that's hard to say. Kino and Sky, I'm not doing the Assassin's Creed podcast with Frankie Boy anymore, simply because there was not, we thought, oh, it's gonna be like the Odyssey post-launch, but even bigger, and that did not turn out to be the case, so there would have not been enough time, thing to talk about. December 16th is my birthday. Nice, Abby. Mine is on the 12th, very soon. Yeah, quick decks. It seems like poor planning, especially with how... I agree. But they have no excuse anymore. They made the upgrades to the engine now, so let's hope that the next games they make will not have these issues. Ega says, live stream interview works great with a positive community, but would be understandable if you do it offline in the future, yeah. Again, I will look into it. I mean, I will probably not speak with Simon for the foreseeable future. Uh, but yeah, I'm really curious. Like they're super reactive to all this sort of stuff. So I'm really curious when all this is said and done, what the conclusion is basically. If they are happy with it, because again, if you look at if the comments under the actual interview, everyone loved it, obviously. But yeah, there was of course a lot of stuff happening afterwards. I personally would not mind just doing it offline, making videos on the information, so I can also share my own thoughts immediately. Of course, that was not possible during the interview that much. And then post the interview like later on JorRaptor or something, so people can still watch the whole thing if they want. But it's not like now it kind of like went on and lived its own life, and who knows? And then you get the grifters running away with it. No second DLC. Why? Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons he gave, and I kind of get it, is that would that then be after Awaji? So then people have to finish both the Awaji DLC, and that would not work. Like that is kind of the problem they made for themselves by having Awaji as the end game DLC early in the life cycle. For Valhalla, all the DLCs were very like you could go there very early on, and then the Dawn of Ragnarok was an end game, but that was the final DLC they did, so that kind of worked out for them. Right now, okay, it would be kind of weird to have a DLC set before Awaji, looking at the things that happened there. So I kind of get that they. So I really wanna know, and hopefully we learn one day, maybe like years from now, I can ask them or something. What was the plan? Like they had a plan for a second DLC. They were going to sell it in the season pass. What was it going to be? But obviously, if they were expecting this game to do Valhalla numbers, or maybe a little below that, but still better than it did, then a second paid DLC made sense. I think that is obviously another really big wrinkle. Like, did Awaji really do well for them? And I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think, because a lot of people got it for free as well. So I'm not sure if that made a profit for them. Obviously, they're now selling editions with the DLC included, but so that's that. Then is Shadows done? Like that is the thing. I've seen a lot of like headlines saying there's not gonna be a second DLC, so people think, yo, it's done. But no, I think we're probably getting every quarter for Shadows a big thing. So the first quarter, it's likely going to be the Black Flag related to kind of coincide with the remake. So I think in February or something, they might do like a Shadows update. Bam, like there seems to be a Pirate Helix pack, and they might do a mission and other stuff that gets you excited for the Black Flag remake. Then maybe in April or May, they go do the co-op mode, and then they have like a Forgotten Saga style roguelike mode in September or August, and then at the end of the year, hopefully they do something with Cassandra again, and that's the end. Something like that. But I think they like what Simon has been saying, they will not do the monthly updates, but I think every quarter they will likely give you a good reason to boot up the game that is more than, let's finish this 30-minute mission and then see you a month. So I think it's actually exciting, and yeah, it sucks that we don't get a second DLC. But yeah, I do think we're getting a lot of... I would be shocked if the content they put out is paid though. Maybe the co-op mode is a paid thing, but that would also be kind of weird. It depends on how big it is. But looking at Ghost of Tsushima Legends, I don't know if that would be smart. They need to put their resources on Black Flags and Hexe. Like, like why the Shadows post-launch is likely... I mean, it could totally be that people that were supposed to, or like what they usually do, like that's why Bordeaux, of course, did the Claws of Awaji. They don't take away resources from the main teams. And then, like Singapore did the Siege of Paris DLC. Bordeaux did the Wrath of the Druids DLC. Dawn of Ragnarok was from Sofia. So they always make sure that these other teams do the DLC so that the core team can work on the Hexes and the Black Flag. And in this case, Quebec can already move on to the next RPG, which I think is smart of them. But yeah. With the free updates, do you think Yasuke will still get a new weapon type? Yeah, I think so. He did not, like, confirm it, but he also was not against it. And I think a new weapon type is also... Yeah, like... They can, like, sell that too. I think there's an angle to it. Like, that's, of course, another, like... adding a helix pack with that new weapon. I think... They could go crazier, but obviously they gave the bow staff away for free. But what if they give the bow staff away for free and then the new weapon for Yasuke as well? You get the whole skill tree. Want a legendary variant? Yeah, you have to buy the helix pack, something like that. That would of course still not be ideal, but yeah. Enough about that. Let's quickly round up the shadow stuff with actually a new video they did. I want to go into the game and yeah, basically check on the first reward that they are giving away, and then after that we can talk about other things, and I can talk about the Game Awards update, because I want to do a Game Awards update. But first, let's do this Shadows video. Assassin's Creed Shadows is getting one more update before the end of the year, and we now got a video detailing what is happening. I got some more info. We're gonna go into the game to unlock the first free reward and way more. So let's go to Ubisoft Quebec, to Simon, and hear what he has to say.
Greetings, Assassins! This is the season once again, and so we have prepared a bunch of goodies to thank you, our marvelous community, for your passion, your love, your dedication, and of course, your time. Starting on December 1st, we've left a little something in your hideout. Make sure to go and get it, because the next day, something else will be waiting for you in your hideout.
So we're gonna get that in a second. I'm curious what the first reward
That's going to be the case every day up until December 25th. Think of this as Assassin's Creed Shadows' very own advent calendar. We're also doubling the rewards for corrupted castles all throughout December. That is, double the gold, double the XP, double the resources.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not, especially the XP is pretty nice, because I still need to get the 100. Not sure if I will grind this though, but hey, it's not bad.
The XP, double the resources.
Okay, this is actually another Animus Rift, of course. I liked the previous one quite a lot, if you remember that. Yeah, you had to collect some things and then you could enter it, as you can see right here. I think it's where you... So we started this kind of weird character, and then you adopt Yasuke's form, and then with one click, you basically switch from Yasuke to Naue. And yeah, they had some puzzles based on that as well, where you would switch between the characters. Let's see if we can... Yeah, here. Oh, Yasuke's form. Oh, here we are now. Wait. So yeah, then you immediately switch. So yeah, we're getting another one of these. It's not like amazing, but I had a good time. And if you actually, I saw some people note this too. If you actually look at the small teasers they have, people are saying, hey, that's a pirate ship right there. So this could be the first time that through like an Animus Rift or something like that, they are teasing the Black Flag remake. And so this update is coming December 16th. Would be sick if they then like announce it or say, yo, see you in 2026, and then have the something Black Flag remake related.
That's weird. And lastly, we have an end-of-the-year title update coming on December 16th that will finally add new combat finisher animations.
So, December 16th.
Truly.
Okay, so this is for the Tento.
Truly, there is no better ways to show...
Oh, the katana? What, wait.
Animations. Truly, there is no better ways to show our love than to give you more opportunities.
Yeah, for the Tento.
Give you more opportunities to destroy your enemies. You were gruesome.
Cannibal.
That is it for us.
Okay, so they like Simon would not say if every weapon got a new finisher. Would be weird if they only did it for a few. But yeah, you got the katana. You got the tento. Because yeah, you use the hidden blade here.
To give you more.
Or no, this is also the katana. So Naue katana. Yasuke Naginata. Okay, this is the tento. But yeah, no Kusarigama. And katana for Yasuke. And also... Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious if ever... you would think so, right? Because I also think the katana for Yasuke is likely his most used weapon. So it would be weird if they don't add that. But looking forward to seeing those.
Ways. And that is it for us in 2025. Keep playing, keep being awesome, and we'll see you in 2026.
Awesome. Again, no, they're not ending support as some people are saying. Yeah, we're not getting a second DLC anymore. I will talk more about that in a future video. Also, do a roundup. Of course, I interviewed Simon, if you did not know. And yeah, we got a lot of information from that. I will do a roundup in a main channel video soon. But yeah, there's still content coming in 2026. And like, I think at least 4 big updates. I think it could be pretty cool. But we'll talk about that later. Let's now head into the game. So we're right here. Yeah. So we're right here. I, of course, got the cool rewards. Let's actually see what the chest has for us. I do think I have to remove my head because otherwise we won't see the notification here. Okay, 6 gold and 10,000 mon. That's not the most exciting start. It's yeah, it's very close to where you spawn, so you immediately see it. And every day, basically, as the daily reset timer resets in the exchange, you get the a new item will appear. So yeah, you can see the countdown timer right here. Thanks to Skata for sharing that with me. I think we have Severus on Twitter noting that, or so having some extra information on the items. Let's see. Starting today, December 1st, amazing in-game items reward available for free inside a new chest in the hideout. You of course have to be you have to boot up your internet connection or like play with an internet connection. Each item will be available for 1 day only. Reset time might be 2 p.m. UTC every day, so UK time. Again, look at the countdown timer for the daily selection. Rewards may include the following: legendary gear from different packs. Is it just your guess? Or not? Epic gear with new perks, enemy keys, resource, hideout skins, pet animals, weapon pack, items, and mounts. Some days the rewards will be good, while other days they might feel like filler content. And I would argue today, like, it did not start well. So, I mean, 6 gold is nice. But yeah, it's not amazing or anything. Let's quickly look at the corrupted castles. Because, again, that should also be... they should also have updated those rewards, I think, already, if you look at them. Yeah, you see that they give more. 5,000 XP is actually quite a lot. So, okay, but it depends, of course, on the enemy. But that's not bad. That is not bad, although still 7,000 XP. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen an icon giving, like, 7,000 XP. So, yeah, they also have the updated rewards already for the corrupted castles if you want to go and do that. Yeah, I will see. I would just suggest that you follow Severus on Twitter. We will likely post in the Discord as well, so check out the Discord. I will leave a link in the pinned comment so that you know what the new rewards will be every day, so you know it's worth it to boot up the game if you're maybe unable to otherwise do so. I will be traveling as well, so I will bring my Asus ROG Xbox Li so I can still get the rewards if they are any good. I hope there are some unique rewards. I don't want like resources all the time. I hope there are rewards that you can only get through the chest. I know that would suck, but then maybe they will add them later or something. Let's see. I still need gold, so nice. Then, yeah, again, 6 gold is not bad. You can upgrade 6 items and then go from there. Let's see. I wanted to quickly note here something else as well. Because that is not all what this December 16th update will include. Let's go to my interview with Simon and have a listen, because he talks about more here. And a new project, so the Animus Team's rewards, is that linked to the project that you guys already... Okay, cool. So
it's
that's the
new project coming.
For Nawe then, because we already had the white armor for Yasuke?
Correct.
Awesome. Awesome. And a lot of people were asking... And I think, yeah, maybe you kind of answered that already with the year 2 plan, which is very so yeah, basically we are also getting a new Animus or like a new project on December 16th. And yeah, likely a new Helix pack for the end of the year as well. Let me know what you think in the comments. Check out this interview if you're curious by clicking on the screen. Subscribe, and I will speak to you soon. Goodbye. Of course, we're still going with the stream here, but that's the shadow stuff that I quickly wanted to touch on. Double the fun. Let's look at the Game Awards, because I actually have an update. And let's see. Or I have an update. Oh no, did I really? Oh no. I've like we got some updates on what will be there and what won't be there. So I think it's gonna be interesting to go over that. No 53 nights. The stream is not over. Yes, I need to watch the interview. Yes, Saber Knight, you should. Again, I will do a recap video as well later on, later in the week, so you can totally look for that as well. Ghost Recon news, bro. I'm dying. Yeah. I think next year is when we see that game revealed, the next one. Yeah. My washing machine is finished. There's a God of War 1 remastered viral screenshot on the internet. Is that real or AI? That seems AI to me. Let's go over the Game Awards news. The Game Awards is coming. The Game Awards are happening on December 11th. I'm expecting a big show. Let's quickly look at what happened last week before. Let's redo that. The Game Awards are happening on December 11th. I'm expecting a big show. Let's quickly look at what happened last year, and then we look at what we can expect and not expect this year. So we got, of course, the first look at Intergalactic. Elden Ring Night Rain was announced, which was pretty big. The Witcher 4 was announced. Also awesome. The new game from the Ico and Shadow of the Colossus director. We got a first look at Borderlands 4. Okami is back. Let's see what else. We got a new look at Outer Worlds 2. Virtual Fighter 6 was confirmed. Split Fiction was announced. Capcom teased the new Onimusha game, Wave the Sword. That, of course, is coming out next year. So, again, a lot of exciting stuff. And I think this year is probably going to be pretty big as well. Let's look at what we first cannot expect to set your expectations right. Because we already learned that don't expect, even though we saw it last year, Intergalactic. And the game also won't arrive until 2027. I'm not sure who thought that it was going to be 2026, especially with Sony having Wolverine. But yeah, to put that to rest, no Intergalactic at the Game Awards. Another game that won't be there is The Witcher 4, even though we also saw that last year. We even learned this week that it is not releasing in 2026. Surprise, surprise. But they still are sticking to a 6-year plan for a new trilogy, which is way too ambitious. Probably won't happen. But yeah, they seem to, instead of going for DLC, want to launch these games 2 years apart, which is crazy. But we will see. We will not hear anything about The Witcher 4 this year, or anything from CDPR for that matter. A game that we will see though is Exodus. It's kind of a Mass Effect style action RPG. Yeah, they will announce more of it. Let's see if we can like look at some quick gameplay here. I mean, yeah, I'm curious to see more. There's still no release date for it, so yeah, could be awesome. But that is at least confirmed. Then we also have some rumors about things that could be happening, namely that the Silent Hill 1 remake set to be unveiled in or like at the TGA, so the Game Awards, according to a well-informed Japanese source from a Japanese news article company. Of course, take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, they of course in the summer confirmed that the Silent Hill 1 remake is in development at Blooper, who also did the Silent Hill 2, remake in 2023. So now a year and a half later, they are already working on the first, or like confirmed they're working on the first one. Again, with remakes, you don't want to work on it for that long. So end of 2026 would be 3 years of development time. Maybe that is what they're going for. So we could see this reveal properly as well. We also got a trademark for Control Resonant. We of course know that Remedy, after Alan Wake 2, has been fully focused on Control, the Control sequel. So this might be the name, and with them now filing the trademark, it could totally be that we see that game announced. Of course, as always, Remedy is like they like the Jeff Keighley shows. Alan Wake 2 was of course at Summer Game Fest. So yeah, I could see it totally being showcased here, even though I'm not expecting it in 2026. Then we also learned that the Death Stranding 2, that there's a PC port leaked. It was like rated, and it usually means it's coming out 3 months max. So I would not be surprised if like the Death Stranding 2 PC port is coming out in January or February. The game is also running for Game of the Year. So yeah, it would totally be a good announcement to have Kojima up on the stage. I hope that they also, or that Kojima then also talks about OD, his horror game he's doing for Xbox that has been in development for a very, very long time. Not sure if it will come out next year, but yeah, it would be cool to see more from that. And of course, Kojima and Jeff Keighley are big butts as well. Speaking of Xbox, Forza Horizon 6, seemingly in the first half of 2026, is Nate the Hate, who has been right many, many times before. I could see it happen. That would mean that we likely see it here. And that's interesting. Usually Forza games, of course, release at the end of the year. So yeah, I think the Game Awards then totally makes sense. And then probably, as always, Xbox does a developer direct in January, where they will likely put a big spotlight on the game. Other games that could be there, let's think. Yeah, we have the Gears of War E-Day, Fable, of course, coming in 2026, Halo, Clockwork Revolution, is that coming in 2026? I hope so. That game, of course, looks very awesome. So yeah, there have also been other kind of things. So my big thing has always been, because we also saw this news, the Game Awards at Prime Video. So they are, of course, you can watch the Game Awards everywhere on any platform, and now also on Prime Video. Why are they doing that? Well, I would not be surprised because it's linked to the Tomb Raider game, because Amazon is publishing the Tomb Raider game. They're also seemingly doing a TV show, and we got some new rumors. Of course, take this with a grain of salt, but I'm especially excited about the open world part. Has harsh deserts, cliffs, abundant jungles, and icy mountains. Laura's portrayed at her prime, her career's peak, hunting Ashoka's mythical weapons that grant conquest powers. And it seems like the game was recently reworked to improve characters. that is likely why we have to wait a bit longer for it. But I totally think it's gonna come out before the PlayStation 6 and the next Xbox. So 2026, 2027. I think it's time to properly reveal that game finally. That would be very, very exciting. Then we also have this. Jeff has been teasing stuff. What is happening here? A lot of people, and yeah, people hope that it's God of War basically, but that is not it. So then the the Game Awards Twitter account posted this, so they can basically see where it is, and people went there in real life, and then you see that it's really there. You kind of see the door that they have. I have like another tweet as well. So yeah, again, yeah, there are totally some God of War things happening, of course, or like things that I don't believe it. I would love it, of course, if we see the next God of War revealed, but I don't believe it. It could we also have, of course, Cory Barlog's rumor that he's not making a new IP, but making something else instead. But it could be viewed as a new IP. I also would not be surprised that that's like something God of War related, even though they will probably like put a huge spin on it. Sin Potato posted like a video of someone actually going to that place in the desert. It looks kind of wild. They did a great job, like kind of highlighting that. So yeah, that is pretty awesome. But as we see here posted as well, the demon designs are Diablo 4 related. So yeah, it seems like here Jez Gordon has sources inside Xbox. So it's really an expansion teaser for Diablo 4, yes, but also more. What's gonna happen, we don't know, but it might be that next to them doing the expansion, maybe the game goes free to play, or they do a huge something to make that game more appealing. I would not be surprised if free to play is in the cards, because you got Path of Exile 2, of course, going free to play soon. They got like other dungeon crawlers like that, of course, coming out. So I would not be surprised they kind of switch that model. Another company that could be at the Game Awards, that has two big titles launching in the next few months, is Ubisoft. And the first game they want to put out, seemingly on January 16th, is the Prince of Persia remake. Now, there has been some interesting things going on with that, because they had a leak for a, like here, from a workshop. It was like a presentation. As you see right here, Prince of Persia universe is talking about this, and what they basically say is that we hosted that to get feedback from community members back in early 2024. The game has changed so much since then, and we can't wait to show it next year. I think it would be weird of them to say, yo, we can't wait to show this next year, and then they show it at the Game Awards. I mean, it could be show is like when the game comes out. That's how people talk about that, but sounds to me as if that means that they're gonna show the game next year and not release it. But we have Tom Henderson, who of course has been around countless of times, especially about Ubisoft. He heard that the marketing will start in December, but that doesn't mean the Game Awards. It's just logical that's there, but maybe Ubisoft don't want it shrouded by other announcements. That's of course a big thing. Like, I scrolled down the article, of course at the start of this video, we see a lot of things that are at the Game Awards last year. So if you're not one of the bigger announcements, you might get drowned. And I think Prince of Persia has like mid-tier announcements. So maybe they're like, yo, we're going to do the week after when people, are more tuned in. So what if they like do the Prince of Persia announcement and then a Prince of Persia Helix pack or something in Shadows to get some kind of... Could be interesting. But if you like pre-order the game, maybe. I don't know. Just a thought, but I can see it go both ways. But with the Twitter account also saying that they will show the game next year, we will see. There is of course the other one as well, and that is the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake, maybe called Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, because this is what was found in the game files of Assassin's Creed Shadows. That would of course be another big reveal at the Game Awards. But I don't know. I think they want to focus on the Prince of Persia remake first, especially if that already comes out January 16th. And then after that is out, the week after that, maybe you start talking about the Black Flag remake. So you don't take the spotlight basically away from the Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake that was supposed to come out, as you might know, in 2021, and then they saw the bad feedback on the trailer. They tweaked it around, and then they basically gave it to Ubisoft Montreal, who has been working on it for 5 years. So it's not something that they just put together in a few years. It's a pretty big project for them. So having the Black Flag remake kind of take some shine away might not be smart. But yeah, overall, I think the Game Awards will be very exciting. I will maybe do another video like this if we get more confirmations, more rumors. But let me know what you hope to see, of course, in the comments down below. I will likely do some more predictions again very soon. So subscribe, leave a like, and I will speak to you soon. Goodbye. Isn't Prince of Persia and AC two different companies out, so their marketing could overlap? That's not really how it works, of course. Like, obviously, Assassin's Creed Black Flag is now part of Vantage Studios, but they still know the marketing plans for the overall Ubisoft thing. Have you heard about the ex-studio of the Just Cause called Liquid Swords and their new game announcement on December 4th? No, I've not talked about that. I have not seen that yet. Thanks for noting that, Surreal. I see he posted it a couple of times. Fable gonna be delayed to 2027. I think so too. Ubisoft got snubbed at the Game Awards. Shadows not nominated. I did not expect Shadows to be nominated. It is nominated though for, I think, accessibility. I have less than zero trust in Amazon. Yeah, I get it, but I do have trust in Crystal Dynamics. So as long as Amazon is not like doing like just leaving them alone, let them make their game, I think it could be cool. 6 Blades of Creed just dropped a new release date trailer. I know. Or I saw it, but that's like as double A as it can get. I never really liked or looked into the Styx games. No, the studio that is making the Black Flag remake is Singapore, the Skull and Bones people, but Singapore also did the naval stuff in 3 and in Black Flag, and also in Origins and Odyssey. So they are very well suited for the naval stuff in particular. And they, of course, get a lot of help from other companies as well. But it's Singapore that is leading the development. When do you think Naughty Dog will reveal their secret game? That's a good question. That's a very good question. It would be weird if they do it before Intergalactic, but I could see it happen. I think Sony is so hard to predict these days because, yeah, they really seem focused on one big game at the end of the year. Wolverine, Ghost of Yotei. Next year, it's probably going to be Intergalactic, or in 2027, it's going to be Intergalactic. So I think it's more interesting, okay, what's the 2028 game? What's the 2029 game? Because Herman said, or yeah, basically PlayStation, we're going to have a big tentpole single-player title at the end of every year. So I think that's very interesting. But wasn't Shadows their only game this year? They also did the Prince of Persia, what was it called? The roguelite by what was their name again? The people that made I can't go. Maybe someone else knows the name, but they basically did a 1.0 launch for that. It launched in early access last year. I hope they don't mess up the ship stuff in Black Flag. I don't want it to be like Skull and Bones. Oh, Dead Cells. Yeah, thanks. Remote Enola, yeah. That is correct. That was this year. So, yeah, they did that. They launched that game in early access last year, but they launched it in 1.0 this year. I mean, Hades 2 launched last year as well in early access, but this year, yeah, it launched in 1.0, and yeah, it was nominated for Game of the Year. Yeah, Rogue Prince of Persia, yeah. Hey, Jordan, I just came. Thanks, Blaze Flame. Do you think Sony will have a big PlayStation Showcase next year? I really think they're not gonna do a PlayStation Showcase until the PlayStation 6. I think the ship has kind of sailed now. The last one they did not. The last one they did, like with a PlayStation Showcase, you have expectations that are this high, and with a State of Play, you have very low expectations. So the moment they go above that, you think, oh, it's a good State of Play. For a showcase, they have to bring out the big guns, and I think they can only do that if they have a lot of big titles. And if you look at next year, Marathon, they will likely do their own thing. It might have a trailer during a State of Play, of course, but what else do they have? Yeah, the Wolverine game, maybe PC version for Ghost of Yotei, and you got you got your Horizon Online game somewhere in there too. So, like, those games won't make an exciting PlayStation Showcase, and I think the big games that we all want to see, the Naughty Dog Secret game, like for Sony, it might also be smart to save those announcements. Like an Intergalactic would have been a PlayStation Showcase reveal, obviously, but now they gave that to the Game Awards, and like Sony, like PlayStation Showcase people tune in that are PlayStation fans, so they're marketing to those people. They would be aware of the next Naughty Dog game wherever it was released. A PlayStation Showcase with all these games, I do think for the next God of War or what Cory Barlog is doing, you also want a Game Awards stage, because then people that are maybe that don't have a PS5 yet would be like, whoa, I want to play that, I'm gonna get a PS5. That's what Sony obviously wants. While in the PlayStation Showcase, everyone has already a PlayStation 5. Otherwise, you would not boot up that show, I think. And for a PlayStation Showcase on the PS6, it makes sense because everyone watching doesn't have a PS6 yet, and they're marketing to their core audience. So I do think we will see more the Cory Barlog game, probably the Naughty Dog Secret game, which I hope is Uncharted. They will probably find maybe spots at big shows where for people that don't own a PlayStation will check out. Maybe the Uncharted game is a cool at the end of a State of Play announcement. It would be a huge announcement though, so that is another thing. At the end of every State of Play, they've done something big. So yeah, I do think they might have one of those bigger games there, but Insomniac, of course, with Venom. Like, a Venom would be a State of Play announcement more, I think. But yeah. Bloodborne remake for PS6 launch would be sick, yeah, for sure. KCD2 is my Game of the Year. Hey, Ipsy, thanks a lot for your support and being here, of course, in the chat and now the super chat. Played Expedition 33, and honestly, I was so underwhelmed. It was so repetitive, I found, with the turn-based mechanics. Game of the Year was much higher quality, in my opinion, so don't understand its high praise. I really think with Expedition 33, you also, if you go in with that Game of the Year mindset, it obviously is going to be way harder for that game to prove itself. And, yeah, because a lot of people went into that game not expecting it to be Game of the Year material, and that, I think, really helped. Because if you look at what the game is, then you're like, whoa, this is really impressive what they did. But if you go in thinking, oh, it's the best game this year, yeah, then of course it is kind of a AAA, AA. It falls kind of in the middle, but it's especially the story and the setting. You really have to, like that. That grabs you, and the plot twists that happen along the way. And yeah, the combat is not for everyone, for sure. But I do think it does a great job for people that are not into turn-based games to still like it, because it's still very reactive and action-focused. Are we sure Intergalactic is not his next game? Maybe they have something before it. Yeah, that would be, of course, awesome if they have the Uncharted game before it. Tides of Annihilation looks awesome. Yeah, for sure. What is your biggest expectation for the Game Awards? Yeah, I'm saying Tomb Raider. To put it realistic, but like as a realistic thing. But on the other hand, Naughty Dog's new game was not on my list last year, so I hope it's something of that magnitude. Would be really cool for Cory Barlog to show his game. Yeah, what else? Like, what are still like big studios that have not been, because you kind of have to look at it from that angle, right? What are big studios that right now could announce their game very soon? And yeah, you have an Insomniac. I mean, they got Wolverine coming, so I don't think they will like do Venom or anything. Santa Monica, Guerrilla Games could of course be there with their next Horizon thing. But a lot of people have launched big games. It feels like we know CDPR is not there. Rockstar will likely not be there. But maybe there's gonna be like another big game out of Asia that we are all, what the heck is this? And Phantom Blade Zero, I hope that game gets like a release date, because we know they wanted to share a release date before the end of the year, so that could totally be what is happening there. Resident Evil 9, like of course there are going to be big reveals for the big games coming out in the first few months. So you got Crimson Desert, that will likely be there, Resident Evil 9 for sure, Saros, I think Sony wants to probably push that, or maybe Marathon. We will see. But he probably has two Witcher 4 intergalactic level announcements. And I think Tomb Raider, I think you could put it in that basket, because I think the next Tomb Raider game will be bigger than the single. Like, if they're really going open world, I think it will be a very impressive showing for that game. If it's like Unreal Engine 5 and they go crazy, I think it's gonna be. I think that is like a very high tier announcement. EA EA has an Iron Man game, would be cool. Like something like that. Maybe that is what they will show. What is Warner doing? Hogwarts Legacy 2, that would be huge. Maybe Hogwarts Legacy 2. I don't know. That, like something like that. That if I'm kind of looking at like other big games that we know are coming, basically. What is Warner Montreal doing? They of course did Gotham Knights a while back, but they have been like rebooted. And Lego Batman of course is coming, so maybe they will do something new for that. So you kind of have to go through the games like that. Xbox has many games, but I don't think they will announce something new. But seeing Gears of War, EA gameplay, or Fable, or again, I don't think Fable will be there, but Clockwork Revolution with like a March release date, like something crazy like that. Marvel 9043 has been delayed. I don't think that will be there, sadly. Is Cory Barlog's game still PlayStation exclusive? Likely. Yeah, they wanna put the PlayStation label on that for sure. Kingdom Hearts 4. Yeah. Square likes Jeff. Or you do Final Fantasy Part 3 already. 7 Part 3. I mean, they want to get that out ASAP. I don't think it's going to be 2026, but they could do that in 2020. That would be cool. Yeah, I'm all about Clockwork Revolution. Me too. I think it looks amazing too. I still can't believe Hogwarts Legacy didn't win Game of the Year. I mean, there are way better games than that came out. Like Hogwarts Legacy was really was an achievement because it had to make a game for casual, hardcore fans, and true to the Harry Potter franchise, they did an amazing job. I can't wait for the second game. I think it's gonna be even better. But look, I think Hogwarts Legacy 2, I could see it being announced. But Warner is usually more like, we announce something, it comes out a few months later. But Hogwarts Legacy 1 was revealed at the PlayStation Showcase. Like, they have been teasing that for a long time. And we know there are rumors about Harry Potter coming to Fortnite. Maybe they, like, again, I could see, I think Hogwarts Legacy not like a big, I can see Hogwarts Legacy being one of the bigger ones. Starfield for PS5 announced. Could totally be it. Yeah, for sure. How about From Software's next single-player game? Yeah, I mean, From Software had the Elden Ring Night Rain thing going last year, but they got the Duskblood game. They got the Switch 2 exclusive, so I'm not sure. Did they have Armored Core announced before Elden Ring was out? It does seem like they are kind of like focused on one game at a time. But yeah, of course the Switch 2 game is kind of like for that audience. Still. Maybe Steambox will get a showcase and prize for sure, but it does seem like the prize is bad news. So I'm not sure if but they could like do a, yo, here's the Steam, here is the Steam Deck, here's the Steam Deck or Steambox. Pre-order now because it should be coming out early 2026. And yeah, which game coming between January and March do you think is getting delayed? Yeah, that's a good question because I do think one. I don't know, but I hope it's Crimson Desert. I hope that they are like, and people would be fine with it. But I hope it's Crimson Desert and they're like, we're moving out. March is way too crazy. We're launching one day before Saros. And the week after that is gonna be 007 and Black Flag. That is crazy. 4 games in 8 days. That are all fighting, I think, for some of the same audience. If you have like the pie chart, they are overlapping. Or like the circles, basically. Not really a pie chart, but they are overlapping, basically. Crimson Desert is a game like Where Winds Meet in terms of what I like about Where Winds Meet and how people are playing that. They're constantly finding new games. It's not like, oh, you played the first one, you will have experience here. No, it's kind of like, whoa, I didn't know that was possible. And it works because right now, there's not a lot of other things happening in the open world space. Or in the MMO space, or like for people that are basically playing Where Winds Meet. So I really think that is working out for them. And I think that would work really well for Crimson Desert. But if that game comes out and the week after you got a lot of other games, people only buy seemingly from data and yeah, from experience, one big game a month. And then you're going to play that and then maybe later. And yeah, you're fighting against a James Bond game, a Black Flag remake. I don't know, man. And Crimson Desert, it looks awesome, but it's a new IP. People will likely be cautious looking at reviews. I hope it's gonna be like April, May. Of course, GTA got delayed. I think James Bond will likely hit. I think the Black Flag remake will hit. Like, those need to be in the financial years. I think Resident Evil is gonna hit as well, unless they figure out some PC issues because they don't want a Monster Hunter Wilds situation again. Maybe we get like a Monster Hunter Wilds expansion announcement, by the way, an Iceborne expansion at the Game Awards. I could see that happen too. But yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. Blazing Flame, when do you think PlayStation will announce PS6 and do a showcase? I think it's gonna be 2027. I'm excited for Judas. Oh yeah, Judas would be at the Game Awards. That would be exciting. I don't see hardware being showcased at the Game Awards. I don't know, man. Like the Xbox Series X was announced at the Game Awards, and I think the Steam box, like, you wanna put that in front of a lot of people, and a lot of gaming fans are watching. I think actually having the Steam box and maybe Half-Life 3, that's the rumor, at the Game Awards would be really big. I don't see any hype for the James Bond game. I mean, it is there, but they still have some work to do for sure. Crimson Desert sounds yummy, yeah. Crimson Desert will be, like, just like Where Winds Meet got a 6 out of 10 from IGN. I totally get why you would give that game a 6, but it is a game that people want to play. And even though maybe it's not on the same quality as some of the AAA games, it's exciting because it's new. It does things that you've not seen before. And I think Crimson Desert is also way too ambitious for its own good. But that will, if you like it, if it clicks with you, I think you will get a lot out of it. I don't think Steam likes to work with Jeff Keighley. Yeah, that might be it. We will see. But yeah, they still want to sell their box, so we will see. Didn't they, like, I think Jeff Keighley gave away Steam Decks, right? When that was first revealed. Every minute or something, he gave away a Steam Deck. So they've worked together. I don't think it's impossible. When do you think we will get Injustice 3? Yeah, Injustice 3 could also be revealed, for sure. But Mortal Kombat 1 was 2023, right? So they might need a bit more time. Do we think Crimson Desert is going to be like an MMO? No, Melissa. It's a single-player open-world RPG. So it is based on Black Desert Online, at least. That's, of course, the previous game that Pearl Abyss made. But it started as an online game, but they focus now. It's only single-player. They might do an online mode later. Just noticed that on my AC Shadows daily short, someone got a legendary thank you note as a quest item. Not sure what it says though. Okay, interesting. Interesting for sure. Do you think we'll get the Max Payne remake or Red Dead 2 announced at the Red Dead 2 for like PS5? Again, Rockstar is I think Rockstar is not gonna be at any of these shows. So if they have like a Red Dead 2 PS5 next gen version or something, I think they will pick their own spot. Max Payne remake, I do think could be because it's Remedy making it, but I think they're gonna focus on Control. That seems to be further along. So, but yeah, Marvel 1943 at the summer and Iron Man. Iron Man I think is further out. It also seemed that Battlefield 6 has kind of delayed Iron Man because the Motive developers had to work on vehicles for Battlefield instead of Iron Man. And yeah, EA in terms of business made the right decision because of course Battlefield is huge. So that's the end of the stream. Thanks everyone for watching and for all your input and questions. And Ipsy for the super chat. Appreciate you a lot. We'll of course cover the Game Awards more here on the channel in the Sunday video. I want to do a Ghost of Yote New Game Plus video still, so that will be up very soon. Shorts content, a lot of other stuff. So thanks for joining as always these Monday streams. We'll be back next week. That will be the week before the Game Awards. So that's very exciting. And I will speak to you very